iWolverine 2020, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. This is written by Larry Hama. That's pretty much the whole reason why I picked it up. I went to the comic book store today, and at the time of this recording, Wednesday, and there's like nothing out there that's good, or at least nothing that really caught my eye. Like, I still have some comics on a pull list, so I kind of get those, but I didn't want to review those because otherwise I'll just be reviewing the same series over and over again. For anyone interested, basically it's pretty violent. Red Sonja, Age of Chaos, Ninja Turtles, Urban Legends, that kind of stuff. Justice League Dark. Those are pretty much the only things I'm currently reading at the moment. And even then, I'm not even caught up. Like, I literally have a stack of comics just piled up that I need to get through. So that's why you've been seeing a lot of manga reviews. I might actually start doing maybe some retro comic reviews. Maybe like stuff from like the Golden Age or Silver Age or even from the Bronze Age. We'll see. But yeah, this kind of caught my eye just because I've always liked Wolverine. I really hate what they've done to him lately. You know, killing him off, bringing him back, putting him in a relationship with Cyclops. Like, just give me badass Wolverine killing people. Like, Wolverine from Savage Avengers was pretty cool because it was just badass Wolverine, you know, stabbing stuff. That's all I want. So I saw Wolverine. It looks like he's fighting people on the cover. Larry Hama, who did a pretty good job with G.I. Joe. A pretty good job. He did an amazing job with G.I. Joe. Who did a good job with this other series that I read called Spooks, I believe it was called. It is basically like G.I. Joe, but they fight demons. So Larry Hama is like, you know, when it comes to like an action and adventure, he's kind of like, he's good. So I was like, okay, we got Larry Hama writing a Wolverine. Like, I gotta see this. So this is pretty much Wolverine as a cyborg. I have not read anything from Marvel in a long time, so I'm not really all that familiar on what the current storyline event kind of thing is. So there's this. I'll read this for you guys. So it's Tony Stark's adopted brother, Arno Stark, and his business partner, Sunset Bane, have seized control of Stark Unlimited in the Iron Man name. Their goal is to unite AI, but only under their control and strip their free will. While the artificial life army clashes with Arno, elsewhere in the world, there are others who seek to capitalize on vulnerable A.I.s. But there's one robot doppelganger who's not willing to lie down without a fight, especially when there's revenge to be had. Murder is on its way to Madripoor in the form of iWolverine 2020. So, I don't know anything about the whole Stark takeover and the AI kind of stuff. Thankfully, this series does a somewhat decent job of not really catching me up, but not having me get too lost. So this is basically Cyborg Wolverine, and he is looking for this girl named Elise, and she is also a cyborg as well. And I guess they were friends or something, and she kind of disappeared. And now he's trying to find her at Madripoor. So he goes to like a bar where he meets Tiger, and she kind of gives him some hints on where she can find Pierce, who I guess is the guy who created them. But before that can happen, they get attacked by the Yakuza. And it's kind of funny because, well, I guess if the Yakuza are in America, it would make sense for them to be in Madripoor. Madripoor is supposed to be like a Southeast Asian fictional place, kind of somewhat close to Singapore, from what I've gathered. It's not real. It's like a Marvel location, a Marvel fictional location. But yeah, it's supposed to be like near Singapore. Does Singapore have a lot of Yakuza? Anyways, I guess there's a Yakuza in here. So the Yakuza show up at the bar and they shoot up Cyborg Wolverine. But he's a cyborg and he's Wolverine, so bullets don't really do anything. And then we get a fight scene. And I'll say that the artwork is kind of weird at some parts. Like, there's some parts where it looks pretty cool, like the scene where he's getting shot up and stuff like that. Just that looks pretty stylized and awesome. But then you get scenes like this where just looking at Wolverine's face, it just looks kind of weird. And just the whole setup looks so, like, these guys right here on the second panel from the top are they like kneeling on the floor? Because it looks like they're right next to Wolverine, but the way that they're positioned, like they don't even come up to his nipples. So are they just midgets? or are they like on their knees for some reason? Like the perspective, it just seems off. Not to mention that just some of the drawing seems kind of off too. Like Wolverine's face, while he's throwing off his jacket, it just doesn't. I don't know. Something about it just seems kind of off, and his torso seems kind of wrong too. Like it's just there are times when the artwork is like really good, and then other times where it's just kind of like it feels half-assed, or like maybe the artist was rushed. I don't know. It doesn't look all that great. So yeah, the art's kind of hit or miss at certain parts. So anyways, he fights off the dudes, and then he goes to see Pierce, who has created or I think his name is Pierce, um, who has created he's kind of taken over. He's become like the ambassador of this island, and he's also created now a bunch of new doppelganger kind of cyborg things, biological A.I.s, somewhat. But he's using biological 3D printing to create people, and we basically get like a scene straight out of Alien Resurrection, where like one of them's like, please kill me. Uh, so biological 3D printing to create like humans. That seems kind of interesting, but that's kind of just glossed over really quickly. So I'm wondering if that's gonna play a part in maybe some other series. I don't know, but that's just kind of brushed off. Like he doesn't really go into details on any of that. So he fights his way through that as well. And then he goes to the Yakuza to get Elise's head. So he fights through them. Basically, this is a lot of Cyborg Wolverine going places and then fighting people and then going to another place and then fighting people. Because as soon as he gets her head, he goes to another place that has her arms, and then he fights a bunch of people there. Then he goes to another place that has her torso and legs, and then he fights a bunch of people there. So this is basically just Wolverine as a cyborg going to a bunch of different gangs and then fighting them to get parts of a cyborg girl. And then he goes to another place and he fights them, gets more parts, and it's just him going to different locations, fighting people, getting parts, and then putting it together. So I mean, if you like a lot of action, then this, you might like this. I think this is a mini series because the end of this, which I won't spoil, but it says to be concluded in the next issue. So I'm wondering, are they concluding this series? Is it just a 2-part mini series? Is it just concluding this arc? I'm assuming it's just a mini series because it seems to be a spin-off off the current Iron Man storyline. So I'm guessing this is just like a 2-issue mini series. But the first issue is not that bad. Like I said, the art's kind of wonky at times. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like right here, like you see Elise, and just her face looks so off. She looks like a guy. Like this image, she looks like a dude. Like the faces seem to just not be all that great in certain parts. Sometimes the faces look okay. Like Tiger look pretty okay in the very first. Well, let me change that. Because in this panel, she looks pretty terrible. On the panel on the right, she looks okay. So it seems to be just really hit or miss with the artwork. So the artwork, I'd probably give it like a C grade if I was grading this. The artwork is just like some parts are really good, some parts are just kind of, I don't know, they just don't work for me anyways. I mean, maybe they work for you, but sometimes it doesn't work for me. But other than that, yeah, this is basically reminds me of The Man from Nowhere, but with cyborgs. That was a great movie, by the way. Anyone who hasn't seen it, I highly recommend watching it. But yeah, I'm kind of just at this point just rambling. So yeah, this is basically, if you want to see Wolverine as a cyborg running around fighting people, then yeah, check it out. And if you don't want to see that, then I guess take a pass, because that's pretty much all this is. It's just Wolverine going from gang to gang fighting people. And you know what? Hey, like, why I wish it wasn't Cyborg Wolverine, and why I wish they did the actual real life, Wolverine, Logan, like justice, and not just make him the way he is now, which is just as far away from Wolverine as you can get. I guess I'll take it, I'll take any kind of like good Wolverine that I can get at this point. Yeah, that's iWolverine 2020. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any comic book recommendations, let me know, because I am struggling to find anything good. Like, I'm struggling so bad. Uh, there's really, like, other than the comics I've named earlier, there really isn't anything that I'm kind of checking out. I might just stick with manga for a bit. Or if you guys are interested in seeing like retro reviews, let me know. I would be glad to do some of that. If there's anything that you guys want to see me do specifically, just name drop it and I'll go see if I can, find it. But yeah, like I think I might enjoy reading those more than reading modern day comics. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell for notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't. Feel free to comment down below. And if you're watching this either on YouTube or BitChute, just, yeah, please support the channel. Just like and subscribe if you can. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to see you guys next time. Later.